Hello, YouTube, and welcome to Good News, Bad News with me, Richard Wheatley, where me and a couple of comedian guests dive deep into the news of the week and, like Dickensian journalists, decide who has had the best of times and who has had the worst. Joining me in the virtual studio this week, we've got a duo joining me. It's Orla Nothing. Hello, Orla.
Hi there.
And Derek Murphy. Hello, Derek.
Hi, how are you?
Very well, thank you. It's lovely to see you both on the camera together. It's a first for
No,
it's
you'd think
only
we
the
lived together or something.
it's the only the third episode, and we've already got a new first. So let's get on with the show. So we're going to start off, I think, with the bad news. Let's get it out the way. So Orla, please could you tell me who's had some bad news this week and why?
Okay, well, there has been some bad news for a Chinese grandfather. Let me just read it to you. It's from The Independent, and it says, a stubborn grandfather had a motorway built around his house in China after refusing to move, despite being offered £180,000 in compensation. Huang Ping's two-story home in Jingxi, China, is now surrounded by a construction site with constant dust, noisy builders, and vibrating walls. He says he now regrets not taking the Chinese government's money and fears what living in his property will be like once the expressway opens in spring.
Yeah, I mean that does sound like a bad week. I mean, it's new definition for the term middle of the road.
Can I just say though, apparently this has happened before. This has happened before, and the person involved regretted it completely, and after 13 years, accepted £30,000 to move away.
Was that person you, Orla?
It was me. I will accept £30,000 for anything, really.
Just move away.
Yeah.
We could
I'm,
start a GoFundMe page.
I'm also wondering if maybe the Chinese grandfather didn't accept the money the first time round because £180,000 is fairly useless to him. He lives in China. He doesn't want English currency.
Fair
Uh,
point. Also, I think he'd be better off if he contacted Disney or someone, because it sounds like the starting of a Disney movie.
you know what it does? Maybe he needs to attach a whole load of balloons to the top of the house and it'll just take
Actually, there
off.
you go. They've already done it.
But do you know what? I think that this has happened so many times before that and people have always got famous for having the house in the middle of a runway. That sort of thing, you know. So I think that this guy was actually he knew it was going to happen. He wanted to hold out until he found the amount that he could get.
He stuck to his guns. He
Well,
stuck to the road, or he stuck to the motorway, should I say?
Are guns illegal in China? I don't
So
I
a
know.
few
don't think so.
years ago,
Well,
my only
it could be a nail gun because apparently they call them nail
Nail gun.
houses.
Nail gun, yes.
the only thing I would think though is he never going to get a wink of sleep. Because, like, if it's a motorway, he's going to be going all night long.
Both of you know. So I am a Londoner and I've grown up with London traffic. And I actually remember going to stay with my nan and having traffic go past my bedroom window
Yeah.
literally 24/7 and actually really enjoying it.
Well, see, so that's you're used to it, so it puts you to sleep. It's like a lullaby.
It was like a lullaby.
So there you go now. Tip for you. If you want to put Orla to sleep, just drive past her a few
So
times.
I think you may have just undermined your own argument here. You said it was bad news for the guy, and now you're saying that actually he might find it rather relaxing to have the sound of cars driving past.
No, I don't think he will.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, also, I don't know how good it was news-wise for his 11-year-old grandson who lives with him.
Oh
It
dear.
does sound like a Disney film. You are right.
Well, maybe the 11-year-old grandson will grow up to be a drag queen. Maybe it's the origin story.
Possibly. Okay. So we've got the grandfather who will not be moved. Then, Derek, what news have you got? What bad news have you brought?
Well, right, get ready for the rant of your life because
Uh-oh.
it was a very bad news week for me. This guy. It's probably a good news for other people, but bad news for me, right? Because
Right.
according to the BBC, what was thought to be the last bat of its species in the UK may finally have a mate, according to bat experts. The greater mouse-eared bat was declared extinct in 1992, but before a single male was found in a disused railway tunnel in West Sussex. But a female of the species has now been spotted in the same area in the South Downs National Park. And you may have guessed already, but I'm not a fan of bats. I freaking hate them.
Okay, so this is a bad news for
This guy.
bat-phobes, for you and other bat-phobes.
I'll start a club. I'm going to do a call out now. Anyone want to start an anti-bat club? Call me, because I'd be well up. I'll be the president. So years ago, I
You're
was
gonna get
at
a lot
home.
of people mishearing anti-bats and signing up from the far right, aren't you?
Oh yeah, I can see this. Yeah, I'm suddenly going to be the poster boy.
This is going to be a problem here now.
Yeah.
This is going to be a problem here now.
I'm going to do it very clearly. Anti-bats.
Okay, so anti-bats. Okay, so why don't you like bats?
Well, Richard, let me tell you. Let me explain to you why I
Go for it.
Shall we all just let's get comfortable. Let's get
get a cup of tea, sit down. So when I flashback to only a few years ago when I was but a mere youth, and I was
you.
yeah, shh. And I was going to bed one night in Cork, in Ireland, where I'm from, and I was rudely awakened in the middle of the night by what seemed like a giant, dinosaur-sized pair of black wings flying around my bedroom.
It was not me.
Yeah, I had one later for it.
That was many years. Well, not so many years later.
Orla wasn't born yet.
Yeah, I wasn't born yet. I'm 35.
Yeah. She appeared out of the bed. No, so I freaked out, jumped up out of the bed and ran out of the room and just locked the door. And so ran into my friend who had been staying over, telling her that there was a bat flying around the bedroom.
Right.
Didn't believe me, told me to go to bed. I rang animal control. Animal control can do nothing because bats are an endangered species, as we've just learned from the BBC article. And so I went and slept in another room. Next day, fast forward about 12 hours to the next day, and we finally built up the courage to go back into the room to try and find the bat.
After a nice long lie-in,
Yeah.
12 hours.
I was traumatized. I needed my sleep. And so after a while, we went into the room, tried to see if the bat was anywhere, couldn't find it anywhere. Opened the windows, opened the doors, kept going back and checking throughout the day. They had me believing that I'd imagined it or that I dreamt it. But bang on cue, about 7 o'clock the next evening, what appears again? Kevin, the friendly bat.
You named him.
Well, we'll name him now.
Okay,
Kevin.
that's a retrospective naming of Kevin. Okay, well, I've got some good news for you, Derek, which is that while there was, so this is the first female that's been spotted.
Yes.
Bearing in mind that there was a male spotted in 2002 and again a male spotted in 2023. It has not been spotted for a year. And so here's a quote. A spokesperson for Sussex Bat Group, I didn't know that was a thing, said, with no sightings in 2024, the species was thought to have said a final farewell to Britain. So it could be that this female has finally turned up, only to find that there are now no males left. We might have just inverted the problem. Also, so that's one possibility, that maybe the males died and finally the woman's turned up just too late. Or possibly, I just need to turn to Orla here and ask, what are the odds on there being a dragged up bat?
Oh, I dragged up that.
It turns out it is a male bat, just disguised as a female bat.
I just have to ask you one question.
Oh yes.
Have you seen Dracula?
I have seen a Dracula.
There you go. That is a dragged up female bat, basically.
Now I want to say that I'm not against bats like as a species. They can
You
exist.
You clearly are.
anywhere near
no,
me.
he's 100% against bats existing.
I'm more
That's
than happy for them to
100%.
be. Let them all go live in Australia along with all the other deadly animals. And I'll stay here where there's nothing but like tadpoles and bunnies.
So we have Orla's grandfather who will not be moved, and we
Yep.
have Derek's himself, who's now freaking out about the new bats in town.
I'm really excited to hear this, to hear which one you're going to choose,
His judgment.
because I think that I'm very well placed.
I think the grandfather has had worse news.
Yeah!
Despite you shooting yourself in the foot with the comment about uh, feeling like maybe he might have enjoyed the sound of cars driving past, and also the fact that his commute is now very easy. But okay, we're going to move on now to.
Disgusted, disgusted. You'll
No,
be
no.
hearing from my lawyers, Richard.
We're now going to move on to the good news of the
Oh,
week. Nice, palatable way to finish. Please, Orla, could you tell us who's had good news this week and why?
so London has had good news, and this is from the Independent. Okay, so it says the introduction of licenses and insurance for pedicab drivers is being considered by Transport for London. And I'm just going to read the next paragraph. The capital's transport body said the rickshaw-style bikes remained the city's only form of unregulated public transport, sometimes leading to rip-off prices in the popular tourist areas where they operate.
So go on. This is good news?
This is good news. And I will tell you for why. Richard, I will tell you for why. So, I have worked in the West End for 20 years, and I've worked my heart out. I have worked for everyone that comes there. I have worked for people that I love, that I care about, that I don't even know, that just turn up. And all of a sudden, these people in these tuk-tuks turn up, and they are aggressive, they are expensive, and they are loud. Now, I will tell you for why I don't like them. I have worked in the same place in central London for the past 10 years. If I have to hear Mamma Mia blasting out ever again, I
Oh.
will literally murder someone. And I can tell you now, I never thought I would say that about an ABBA song.
So
But
these are the people who are going around blasting their music.
Yes.
they are so loud that
Does it scare the bats?
the CERN collider would be ashamed. They would hang. It would hang on. Yeah.
Okay.
I think personally, I quite like walking down the road and suddenly hearing a bit of Shania Twain.
They charge £20 for a 5-minute drive.
But look, if you're silly enough to pay that, then that's on you. But sometimes it could be worth it. Maybe you've been walking all day, you don't want to walk the extra 20 feet to get to the station.
I've walked over the Waterloo Bridge, and I hasten to add that this is outside of the usual remit of these people. I've walked over the Waterloo Bridge, and all of a sudden, I'll hear
Dancing Queen.
Dancing Queen coming down here, and then all of a sudden, these people, two of them, will start shouting at me and saying that I need to do up my shoelaces or something.
They don't ask you to jump in for a ride.
No.
So we're going to be a campaign to stop the pedicabs being pests. Derek, who's had good news and what was it?
This week, it has been very good news for the entire human race, but more specifically, the people of Northern Ireland. And let me tell you why.
Why?
Because Lidl, good old Lidl, everyone's favourite, They plan to open their first in-store pub. Yes, you heard me correctly. First in-store pub in Northern Ireland. So, according to the BBC website again, a High Court has cleared supermarket chain Lidl to push forward with plans for its first ever in-store pub after rejecting a legal challenge to the proposal in Northern Ireland. So a judge dismissed an appeal against the retailer being granted a provisional license for operating a bar within its store in County Down. Now, I don't know about you, Richard, but when I go shopping, when I have to do the weekly groceries, I'd be quite happy to take a little break in the middle and go to the pub. And if there was one in the supermarket, all the better.
Now you see, I'm looking at this, and I'm. There's so many times where they've said off license and pub almost interchangeably. Is this an off license or is this a pub? Can you buy a glass of beer in this place, or are you going to have to buy cans of beer? At which point you can't like. Can you drink? Can you be there with like shopping trolley pushed with one arm and pint in the other? Is that because then I'm going to be fully on board with this.
I don't think my understanding is it's not a mix and match. It's more, do you know what? You can go, you can start your shopping, you put your few bits in your basket. Oh, I fancy a pint. I'm just going to put my trolley over here. Now I'm going to go sit in the bar, which happens to also be in the supermarket, have myself a drink, then continue with the shopping. Oh, look, this is on sale. I'll get that. Oh, 2 for 1? Why not? I'll get that. Pop back to
Okay.
normal. You might end up buying yourself presents that you don't even remember. Win-win. Next day, fantastic.
Okay then, yeah, I quite like that. Also, I'm absolutely fascinated by the fact that Northern Ireland has laws meaning that they no bar can open until another bar closes. It's a one in, one out rule.
Yeah,
So
so
they have
apparently,
a finite number of pubs in Northern Ireland.
yeah, so pub licenses apparently you can't just go and open a new one. You have to buy it off either an existing trader or somebody else who's already got one in the premise or something is gone. Um, I mean, it sounds sensible.
That's not going to work. I'm sorry. That as soon as you get someone into council that is going to like benefit from another pub is going to open.
Yeah, but look, we're also talking, guys. I can say this because I'm Irish. There's pubs everywhere. There's not a lack of pubs in Ireland. We're good.
I will tell you right now. I have been to literally yesterday. I went to an Asda,
Ooh,
and they had a cafe at the top.
did you treat yourself to something in the cafe?
They were awful, and I was just
Oh,
there then. They were absolutely awful. So
Yeah.
I will say this for Lidl's. Um, yeah, no, don't.
well, the
I
thing is, one of the things I will say in Little, and obviously all, there are lots of other shops that are out there, but one of the things that my family has found is Little is quite good for alcohol.
hmm,
If
even better.
nothing else, Lidl's okay for alcohol. Aldi, particularly this is particularly on champagne. We've done taste testing, and Lidl and Aldi champagne both stand up to a lot of very high, very expensive champagnes.
Can I just
Although
can I
Aldi
just
gives you less of a
interrupt?
hangover.
Can I just champagne?
Yep.
Richard, Richard, hi Richard. So so you get champagne? Yes?
Yeah. £10, £11, £12 per bottle.
Yeah,
Like,
great.
Derek is no longer here.
Richard, Orla's using physical violence against me.
the good news we have this week is Orla's pest-like pedicabs who are being regulated, and the discount bar that is being set up by Lidl. And I think I'm going to give the good news of the week to Derek with the discount bar. So that makes it one
So
all. So that's nice. It's a nice
we
draw.
can go to the little pub and celebrate.
You can go to the little bar and
I want
celebrate.
you to stand in the middle of the West End and just listen to them. That's what I want you to do.
Richard, I'll get us some cans. It'll be fine.
Yeah,
I know
it's
there's
fine.
a Lidl around the corner.
Exactly. I'll be drunk. It's fine. I won't be able to hear it. They can run me over. I don't care. We'll now go on to the last section, which is, of course, future news. Let's start with Orla. Orla, do you have any future news, upcoming gigs or anything like that?
Oh, it's
I
exciting.
do. Yes, I do. And in actual fact, I have some very exciting news. I am running some marathons. I'm doing 5 marathons in the next 5 years for different charities.
Next year.
In the next year, sorry.
5 marathons in 1
the
year.
next year. And
Lovely. Wow,
I'm
which
doing them
ones?
from different charities. Please do look at Derek and Orla Do, and you'll be able to find out which charity I'm running for. The next one I'm doing is on the 13th or 14th of April, and it's in Paris, and it's for Alzheimer's. And then I will be running from then right up until the beginning of April next year, so 12 months exactly. And I will be running in the Brighton Marathon. So 5 marathons in 1 year.
Wow. Okay. And you'll be doing
Crazy.
that, and you're doing that as a performance, like in drag?
I'm doing that, part drag. So I will be partly in drag, and I will be partly running.
I mean, she's crazy, but she's not that crazy. She's
Yeah.
not going to do it in
Okay.
heels.
Not doing it in heels. Okay, so you're going faster using a drag reduction system. Nice. Okay, and then Derek, do you have any upcoming gigs or anything like that?
We do, actually. So we have a new short film out.
Oh, very
called
nice.
Derek, Tracy and the Killer in Heels. It is currently doing the festival circuit.
It is.
So we're hoping to have a London screening soon. So again, watch out on our social media. Derek and Orla Do.
There are 2 original songs with that.
There are. Orla has 2 original songs in that, which will be released soon as well. And also the 3rd season of our web series, Derek and Orla Do, will be coming out later this year.
Yeah.
So keep an eye out for that as well.
And that is absolutely fantastic. That's just brilliant.
Okay,
so
and
follow us on either Derek and Orla Do, Orla Nothin, or Dirkle Smurf on Instagram, and you'll be able to keep up with what we're doing.
Thank you very much for watching. This is a new news-based comedy channel, so if you have enjoyed watching this today, please do like, share, and subscribe. And if you haven't enjoyed it, then hopefully you'll be back again for watching more episodes in the near future. For now, it's goodbye to my guests, Orla Nothin and Derek Murphy, and it's goodbye from me, Richard Wheatley. I'll see you next week. Please have a good week and not a bad one. Goodbye.
Thanks for having us. Bye.
Thank you.